Wednesday evening, Wednesday afternoon, or morning, wherever you're joining us from. Welcome to the Light 'em Up Lounge. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you, as always, for your precious time. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for lending us a bit of your precious Wednesday to talk about the most wonderful product in the world, handmade premium cigars and everything around it. In fact, this week, it's one of these shows that I personally love and very much enjoy when we talk about the surrounding elements of the premium cigar, when we talk about the lifestyle, when we talk about the art and craft that has a profound and severe impact on your cigar enjoying experience. However, it's not just about filler, binder, and wrapper for once. Instead, we want to talk about the art of crafting the world's finest humidors and enhancing your cigar experience through beautiful accessories. And who better to join me for this and to have a wonderful conversation with than Marco Torres from Humidores Wacota, joining us live from Madrid. Marco, it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us. It's great that you found the time, and I'm very, very happy that we had a chance to connect in Dortmund at the Intertabak. And here we are a couple of months later with your first appearance on Light 'em Up. So thank you very much for joining us and welcome.
No, thank you very much to you, to thinking in me, in us, and it's a pleasure, absolute. And I try to speak my little English as good as I can, but okay, I will try.
It's perfect, Marco. It's charming, and I'm sure we'll have no issues at all to surf through all the wonderful topics that we want to discuss and to learn more about your personal journey with cigars. We want to learn about your craft, your artistry, and yeah, as I said, it's always inspiring to have a conversation around the cigar, not just about the cigar itself, but truly about
Yes.
around that. Let me start by asking you, how did your love and appreciation for cigars start, though? You have a very interesting background, and the entire story of Humidores
Yes.
Wacota is inspiring. But I'm always curious as to what was that first light bulb moment that
With the
made you
cigars.
realize this is something special?
Oof, I really don't know what was the first impression. For me, it was, I think, the people, not the cigars, the people. I smoke cigarettes about 15 years ago. I left cigarettes about 15 years ago. And when I was my little agency and in the 90s, about in the final 90s, I started working with the name in Spain was Fosforera Española. That Fosforera Española was bought by Swedish Match. You remember Swedish Match? That after bought Scandinavian Tobacco Group to this and there I knew very a lot of people that was no friends of mine, and all these people go with me in my life, and all the life it's giving you for many places, and the people that is with you, it's go with you and go with you in this way. And so this happened in those years, and because this I start in working a little with for the tobacco world, and after the destiny goes to I know my friend, brother, know my partner that is his carpenter. His father was carpenter, and we started to work together, and this is the beginning. And
Beautiful. I, I
yes,
I love that one sentence that you phrased when you said it was your thing to shoot with the camera and to capture faces and places and ideas and feelings.
yes,
Um,
yes. This,
That
yes,
that to me speaks a lot about you and your philosophy, and I believe that is also at the core of what sparked your interest around premium cigars. When you have that intimate moment with other people when you shoot through the camera,
yes,
it's not exactly the same, but it's a similar type of connection that you have when you sit down with each other and you share a cigar. It's something
that's
that has a unifying power and something that
total,
truly and wonderfully brings people together, unlike any other product, in my opinion.
total. Total. You know, the life, it is moments, moments and moments. Every, you know, a little, we have a bag with many moments that are the 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 essence, the essence of our life, you know.
Yeah,
And with this moment with a cigar, for example, or in determinate moments with a friend taking a drink, but with the cigar are are so remembered, you know what I mean. And it is like a shot, or a journalist shot. Henry Cartier-Bresson, the 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 photograph from France that was the king of this kind of photography. He said that he bent the instant, the 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 moment, that moment, and we are in this way in photography, or with all the media, all the social media, all these crazy things. The moments, these little moments, I think we are lost in. Perhaps we have taken long moments and other kind of moments, but these specific moments, I don't know. Perhaps this is another discussion. Another,
um,
yes,
about Humidores Wacota, Marco. You briefly explained that one of your close friends and now business partner, Juan Carlos Roncero, he is a carpenter, right? Or
yes,
he was on the verge of taking over his father's carpentry business. And
yes.
I imagine it was probably a very traditional workshop. And then this new idea and this new opportunity, this new industry comes along. And you form the idea together to start crafting finest humidors. How challenging was it to convince both Juan Carlos, but probably also his father, of that idea, or was it very simple and they immediately recognized that there's something special there and there's an opportunity or at least a passion that we want to pursue?
They they start making humidors before know me. You know, they almost make so many humidors for Ravanos in the final 80s, something like that. You know, and when I know Juan Carlos in about the first 2000, 2002, something like that, we start with a project for one brand that called La Casa del Oro. I don't know if you remember. It is very old. It was for Scandinavian. In that moment was Swedish match, and we start making humidors for this project. And we make humidors, we make ashtrays, and we make ashtrays and cutters.
Hmm.
So I I I was the guy who uh, who do all this job of joining the manufacturers, and to serve to the market, to the Scandinavian, no. And I know then Juan Carlos, and we start a relation, we get friends, and in 1 2 years we talk and we say, he said, why do you don't create a brand and we start selling and start selling like we have to do, And in this moment we start to Humidores Wacota, and it was about 2003, 2004, more or less, and we start in this moment. This is the beginning. Yes.
What was the initial feedback from the market, or what was the segment of the market also that you were looking at? Obviously, coming from a family background, being craftsman, taking a lot of pride in your work. I'm sure there was a very specific vision and idea as to where you wanted those humidors to be in terms of the finesse and the quality.
Yes. You know, uh, the problem that we have these first years until about 2000, I think 2010, 2011, it was that in Spain start in these years the anti-tobacco law, the
Mhm.
anti-tobacco law. And then the first years were so bad, so bad, so crazy. Nobody want to buy, nobody want to know nothing about smoke, about cigars, about all the people was afraid. In that moment, Spain was so free in smoke before 2004 or before the law. You can smoke inside the bars, you can smoke in every place, more or less. But in this year, stop, and you can smoke in any place. And this was very hard for the industry, very, very hard. Of course, for the industry of cigarettes, of cigars, of all industries around the cigar world. And this was our beginning. So it was so hard. We start little by little. I have to, I have my company of design and of other elements, and it was more this work than the humidors.
Yeah.
We try to sell humidors. We try almost in the Spanish market, but it was complicated
At the same
until
time, would you say that was the opportunity to look abroad and right
yes,
away expand to other markets because Spain was promising to be challenging?
yes, but we were so small company with no so much mm, capacity to go out
Yeah.
in those years. We I think I always in my life, I don't know if fine or bad, but I want I always want to walk slowly. You
Mm,
know, I don't I don't know to work to go fast. You know, it's not my feeling. I I want to go. Uh, if I have to to have a good life, and it go, and little by little, if you do the things fine and you have good vibes or good,
build it
you
the
know,
right way. Yeah.
yes, that's it.
I mean,
I think
somebody in the cigar industry said, never rush the hands of time, right? So
Yes,
Something true about it.
and I know that so many companies have the you know these programs, and they know what to do, and not in our case.
Mm.
We were small, we were you know, and we go step by step and little by little, and in the 2010, 2011, we start more and more and more. In that years, more or less, I left all the rest of my work and only to Humidors, and until today, you know, it is good, you know.
Marco, let me ask you a very candid question, but sort of from the meta perspective. Um, we all here and everybody watching, I think we have a very solid understanding of the cigar industry and the cigar markets, right? But humidors are, in my humble opinion, almost a bit of an afterthought. Of course, we all need one. We all have one at home in different capacities and sizes and dimensions, but you don't really hear those conversations or even thinking about the industry to a certain extent where you try to understand the mechanics of how it actually works, who are the most important players. So can you enlighten us a little bit about how does the landscape and the industry of humidor production even look like? I mean, is it a very fragmented market where you have small individual players like you guys were at the beginning, like individual carpenters doing a little something here and there? But then you also have the big established players, and for some, it's maybe a big question mark. But then there's always the option to go to China and get a large cabinet humidor at an affordable price, but maybe with one or two question marks in regards to who's behind that, who's manufacturing that, is the quality where you want it to be. So give us a bit of an overview, please, as to what that market looks like.
Uh, I really don't know because in inside the market, we are, I think, making humidors as I know, as I think you have to make humidors. There are not so much people around the world. You know, I know people in United States, in Canada, also in Europe are manufacturers in France, in Italy. But I think all the market, all the around the humidors are quite like us, or almost smaller, you know, because it is, we are carpenters at the end. I mean, and I think this, we do not have to lost, you know. I, you know,
Keep the soul.
I think happened in the cigar world, you know, in the manufacturers of cigars, I think happened something similar. For example, when I was one time in Procigar, and and I know uh, all the manufacturers, all the brands in República Dominicana, and all the people are quite accessible. They are, you can speak with them. You can go to his factory. They are they are manufacturers of
Yeah.
tobacco. They are not like the cigarette industry. That is another thing. It is completely different. You know, uh, I think it's quite similar in the world of cigar. Of course, it's so bigger than us, and but it's so, you know, Guillermo León, or I know so much Guillermo León or Manolo Quesada. They are, they don't think they are a great, you know what I mean. I cannot explain exactly what I
Beautiful.
want
And,
in
and
English,
I,
but
I can very much relate to what you're saying that They're approachable, they're real, they still kept at their heart the essence of being
Yes,
manufacturers, of being craftsmen and women, and not some odd corporation where
I think
the soul of the product is lost.
I think you do not have to lose this. For example, in cars, I think there are brands, big brands of cars, they then didn't lost his origin. I don't know, Aston Martin or perhaps Ferrari or also Mercedes. Sometimes, they still thinking, what are they? What you do? We just do it. An element that moves people. So I think you have to have this in your mind always,
Yeah.
or if you know, this is what.
Marco, I want to briefly bring in Sebastian, who had his hand up, and maybe he can enlighten us a bit, or maybe his views or his experience in that regard as well. Well,
Hello, good evening to everybody. Hola,
Good evening.
Hola,
Hola. Good
Marco.
evening. Hola, hola.
I just to introduce myself, I was many years was importing mainly cigars and other tobacco products, and the humidor business was sort of side. Well, it was never was a big business, but it was
No.
interesting. Huh? From my opinion, you have to distinguish on one hand the design of the box of the humidor, and as you mentioned, Ferrari or Mercedes, even Rolls Royce, they have very expensive travel humidors in
Yes,
the car, no? to keep
yes, yes.
to keep the cigars in a humid condition, no? Not too damp. No? Many people make the mistake to have it too damp. Once I remember I was in Cuba with a connoisseur, and he complained and said, "Well, the cigars they are too dry, no? In Cuba." No? And I explained to him all of Cuba is a huge humidor, no?
It's
with
cheap,
a
yeah.
huge humidity in the air. No? And
That is.
well, one hand is the design. You have very expensive companies like well, just to mention a few names, this French designer Elie Bleu or others, of course
Yes,
Davidoff has a very expensive a
yes,
few thousand euro prices. And I remember there was a German company. Well, it's
yes.
spectacular to see, no? But on the other hand, there's always the question how you can perhaps elaborate on your experience. How do you how you produce the humidity, which of course depends on the outer circumstances. When you're in the north in Sweden or so, you must make it more damper than in the cold than in the
Yes,
south somewhere, no? And
yes,
well, I had the agency for all the Cuban accessories, no? Then they are the motherland of cigars, and the company was in or still is in Madrid, Guiba they called. And well, and
yes.
there was a lovely website you can see. And then well, I didn't have a big store, especially not on humidors, because there are some. The biggest model is 2 meters or so high, no? And the humidification was rather primitive, no? With a sponge and I remember just to say in Austria, when I still was with the state-owned company, there was the idea of the general manager to outfit a few hundred pieces we imported. This was a manufacturer of kitchen of
Yes.
kitchens, and they were this size, quite nice, and they were called they looked a little like a rabbit cage, no?
Mhm.
And they were too small, small sponges, and this was it. No? Sometimes it was too damp, anyhow, and once we made about 100 or 200 boxes for restaurants. At this time, it was a fashion to present cigars in good restaurants. And the important, of course, you must tell us, important is the wood inside. No? And this was a cheap wood painted with black
Yes.
lacquer. So anyhow, and you can make out of the humidification, you can make a science. No? In some in the Cigar channel, there's always a few pages, a German scientist training us how to make it damp, and the various systems.
We even had him on the show.
It's an interesting thing, and of course, I admire you to make a living out of it. No? I couldn't actually. Okay, gracias. No,
no, gracias a ti. You say one thing that is, I always have in mind, that Cuba, República Dominicana, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, it's a big humidor, like you say. It's a big humidor. And the problem was when you bring the cigars to Europe. That was the problem that Mr. Tino Davidov had when he bring the cigars to here. And he looked at the cigars when come to Europe, to Switzerland, get dry. He say, no possible. And he, in this moment, he invent the humidor to bring the cigars from Cuba to Europe about the 50s, 60s years. Because in Cuba or in República Dominicana, you have the cigar on the table, you smoke the cigar, it's perfect. It's perfect. It is 26 degrees, 73, about 73, 72 humidity. This is the medium temperature and the medium humidity in these countries. You come here to Europe and the temperature goes down, goes to 20, and then this Tino, when he bring the first cigars, he bring about 60, 65% humidity, these boxes, and get dry. And then the next time he put humidity to 70, and then go okay. And then in this moment, he didn't know, but he start the world of the humidors in that moment. So
Marco,
this is the yes.
Marco, I'm just curious, based on what Sebastian explained, and obviously we see there's quite an evolution in how the whole technical side of humidor manufacturing has changed. Obviously, with mini computers and chips and having even AI now working to optimize the conditions inside of a humidor. All of that is accelerating at a very fast pace and changing the whole game. But fundamentally, how much do you think the manufacturing aspect of humidors has changed throughout the years and decades? Or would you still consider at its very core, it's a fundamental skill and it's a few fundamental principles that you have to respect in order to craft a beautiful and functionable humidor?
I am going to telling what I think and what we do. We make humidors like not exactly the same, but quite similar than 40 years ago. The only change are the machines we use to make the humidors. The fundamental, the way of make the humidors are the same. We have one big machine that we put the board and he do all the cuts so fast. Before, one person had to do the cuts with one Sierra, I don't. Then we want another machine, and he need 10 hours to do one piece or two pieces or 20 pieces. No, you put in the machine and it cut all in one time. He goes and cut. But after we take this and we do the same. We assemble with the like same before with sargentas. With all is the same, quite similar. I mean, only the machines, the tools are changed, but the way of manufacture not changed at all. You know,
On that note, what would you say differentiates a perfectly crafted humidor from a lesser quality product? What are some of these fundamental principles that you have to respect in order to create a top-notch, high-quality humidor?
you know you have to difference between the final aspect of humidor and the and his function, no, his what it have to do, no. At the end, the humidor is just a box, a cedar box, to put cigars inside, and you have to have the humidity correctly for the cigars. No, this is at the end the final of the humidor. After you can do the humidor so wonderful, so finished, so gloss, so with the designs. With I, you know, our for example, you talk about El Blue or DuPont or Davidoff, or you know this. We are not so specialized in small humidors. We are more specialized in big humidors, in medium or big. In small humidors, we are not so competitive because our way of make the humidors it's quite slow. We have the same time to do one small humidor than one medium humidor,
Yeah.
and the price is quite similar. You know, we have humidors of 300, 400 euros small, humidors of 300, 400 euros more big. But because so this is we are not coming in that finish like El Blue. They do amazing things that is I mean in the final of the humidors, you know, these designs of the top of the covers, you know, this they do so fine, and I think they are perfect. No, our work, our destiny, it's another. We make so much under tailor-made humidors, under order. I mean, the customer asks, I have this space, I want a humidor, or we have so many models, of course, and but we do not stock, for example, so less. We have in the showroom one humidor of each size, more or less, but we do not stock because stock humidors is so problematic. If you don't sell the cedar, it is a wood so complicated. Is if you do not open the humidor, if you stock the humidor 6 months, you open the humidor and it have so many. Let me find the word in English, please. Resin. Resin. Yes, the smell of the cedar comes of the cedar is alive. All the wood is alive. If the wood is dead, no smell, no nothing. You know, the wood have to be alive, and the cedar still have resin so many years. And you stock the humidors, and then, for example, these big brands, they have so many rotation and they sell and they, you know, and they don't have a stock at humidor so many times. If you do with cedar wood, you cannot, because the resin come out and the customer look and what is this? This happened to us many times. Another thing is Chinese and another brands, and so many brands don't use cedar, use woods that are quite similar to cedar, but not that this wood, the good is that don't have resin or don't. So the humidors you stock so much probably is not cedar. You know, this is I don't know. I go to another.
It's very interesting, and I think the wood aspect is particularly important to discuss and talk about as well.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
Especially when
yes.
you mention Spanish cedar, right? I mean, you could probably argue that Spanish cedar is neither Spanish nor is it cedar, even though everybody calls it that way. Please enlighten us a bit on that, and what do you think is most important when you look at specific types of wood for the humidors you want to outfit?
Okay, about you want to talk about the Spanish cedar a little? I okay, Spanish cedar. It is the name. This is the I Bulgar name. It's Bulgar. It is the name, not the scientific name. I mean, it's not the real name of this wood. The wood Spanish cedar is Cedrela odorata. No, this is the name of this wood, and people call Spanish cedar, red cedar, American cedar. Um, I think more names, but these three are the most used by people. Spain cedar. Spain cedar is the same that red cedar than American cedar. It's the same name for this wood, Cedrela odorata. The name of a Spanish cedar, I investigate about it, and Calisto, the father of my partner, he told me that when the first humidors come to Cuba from Spain, they say, wow, what do humidors? They don't do humidors at all. They don't need humidors, but they do just boxes for cigars. And they from Spain come the first humidors, and the Cubans say we want these humidors with the Spanish cedar, but they don't uh, tell about the Spanish cedar. They told about the origin from Spain. We want this humidor from Spain, you know, and because the Spanish cedar, the Cedrela odorata or the American cedar, it is a tropical wood that only do in these countries in almost in the middle of America and some parts of Brazil or Venezuela, some countries, because there are also many varieties of Cedrela odorata, you know. So you can buy in some parts of America, Iberoamerica, America, Latin America, you know. So in Spain, no, there is no Spain cedar. There is neither class of cedar because the cedar is a tropical wood. Also, no, you know, the name is Cedrela odorata. The translation it is a smell to cedar. The cedar wood of the real cedar, it is from Canada or from Tibet or some parts of north of Europe, have a smell similar to the cedar, or the cedar that we use is similar the smell to this cedar, but the properties are closely different, are very different. The cedar of these countries you cannot use for humidors. It's a wood so hard. The cedar, for example, the Spanish cedar, it is so soft. It's a wood so easy to work. It is like not like butter, but it's so easy to work with it. It is quite, and this is I think the best characteristic for he go out the smell of the wood, you know. And this is about the cedar, no. Some people I think it's confused about this, no, that but this is the real, no.
Marco, just if people were wondering, is it necessary to choose cedar as the inside lining for your humidor, or could you just go away with many other types of woods that you enjoy, that you like the look and feel of, or the texture of, and how much does it really contribute in terms of the aromaticity and what it lends to the cigar over time?
I think it is important to be in cedar. You know, then there is not only the Spanish cedar. There is we use also another kinds of cedar like Jose cedar that is same cedar but is from Africa.
Mhm.
And it have one thing better than the Spanish cedar, that it have
Less resin.
less. Yes, that is, and uh, if you want a humidor and you don't have the cigar so many times inside, I think you can put another kind of wood like okume, or like they are wood similar to cedar and also have a little smells, you know, and you can put this wood. But if you want to have the cigar more time, I think you have to put cedar because the cigar is in contact with the wood, and the cigar is going to smell like the wood you have. If you put, I don't know.
I mean, little Narco that I know.
Yes. Hello, Annette. Sorry.
All good, Marco. Please continue.
So sorry. Yes, that if you put another wood and this wood smell to, I don't know, to regaliz or to another kind of, the cigar is going to smell to this. You know, all you know when you smoke a cigar, you find many aromas, many notes, many things in the cigar, and all this is the things that has been in contact with the cigar. If the cigar is in near the cows, it's going to smell to cow. Or if it's near horse, or if near red fruits, or if near coffee, because there is another coffee plantation near, it's going to smell to coffee. So this is the this is the characteristic of this so big leaf, and it have so impregnated of all around. You know, it is. I think it the best leaf in the world, and big and nice, and you know, and take all, and have his oils, and his oils have this essence of all. Then when you have the cigar into your box, it's going to take also what you have in your box. You know, if you put, I don't know, if you put a cigar with mentholated in the box in the humidor, it's going to smell to menthol the cigar also. Or if you put a cigar, you know, the cigars that are ahumados, I don't know the word, like, you know, it's going to be smoked. I mean, if you put a cigar with a smoked cigar, that you know that it's going to smell to a smoked cigar. So this is important to know, that you have to know what you put in the in the freeze is going to smell to the freeze. So,
Certainly not the
this
best
is
idea.
this is this is important. No?
Andy, you had your hand up for a while. I wanted to hear your thoughts and have you on as well. Welcome.
Good to see everybody. I find it very interesting, Marco, about your discussion about humidors. You brought up Chinese humidors and cheaper humidors at one point. You know, if you go onto like eBay and you find these cheap humidors, your cigar bid, and a lot of beginning smokers want that humidor for the first time, and they buy that cheap humidor and it does absolutely nothing. It does not hold humidification because they're quickly machine made with the woods that they can get. And I've discovered over the last 50 years that I've been smoking cigars and having humidors, I have humidors that date back to the late 1800s that used to use like a copper or a brass metal in there to try and help with the humidification, some of the vintage ones. But I've seen a lot of messages come over about Ellie Blue, about Daniel Marshall. I know these people, and you know, they take their time making humidors. A gentleman that I met in Maryland was a guy by the name of what was his name now? All of a sudden, I can't remember his name. It'll come to me. He used to guarantee his humidors for life. They weren't going to crack. And some lady brought a humidor in because it had cracked. Michael Dixon, that's what his name was. You know Michael, probably. And
Yes.
Michael looked at this humidor when he came into the shop, and he took it with him, and he fixed the humidor, and he brought it back to the shop. He said, it wasn't one of mine, but I couldn't stand to see someone make a humidor that was put together so poorly, and he rebuilt the humidor for this person. And I thought that was really awesome of him. And you brought up Manolo, and the statement that you were looking for, the word you were looking for was humility. These people still have humility. They're not a good humidor maker. A friend of mine in Canada who used to make humidors came up with an interesting design. And I wanted to ask your opinion about this. He put stone at the bottom of his humidors to try and help with humidity. Now, you know, I was curious about the stone, but the other thing is that a lot of people would come up to me who were opening up cigar shops and saying, I had this wall humidor made and it's just not holding humidity. And you brought up American cedar and red cedar. And the thing about red cedar is it's got a lot of creosote, so it does not hold humidity. So I watched this humidor that was made with red cedar, they couldn't get it over 50% humidity. And even if you go to a cheaper route like mahogany Luan, at least that'll hold humidity. But the red cedar does not work in humidors. It's like you see the humidor's system in there is constantly running because it can't keep the humidity in the wood. It's so oily on the surface that it doesn't seem to hold humidity. So now I have a walk-in humidor in my home, and I've got mahogany Luan lining the entire humidor, and it holds humidity just fine. So the two questions I have is what are your opinions or feelings about having stone in a humidity, or having used mahogany as one of the woods?
Okay. The stone, about the stone, it is new for me. The humidor with the stone, you know. For us, for our way of work, the important thing about humidity, it is that humidity need to circulate in humidor. Okay, this is the most important thing, because if not, the humidity could create mold. Sorry, the word. Sorry. Mold. So if the humidity circulates in humidor, all is going fine. Also, if you don't have cedar inside, like you said, mahogany or another kind of wood inside, it's going to work. The cedar, his properties inside the humidor, it is that give a good smell to the cigars. Smell. Also, the people think that the cigars always smell to cedar because it comes in box of cedars from the factories, and the first smell that you have in a cigar is about the cedar, you know. So this is the first. This is the first important thing, and the second one, it is because it's a tropical wood. It maintains humidity so fine. When it gets acclimatized, it gets so fine. You know, I love to go to tobacconists here in Spain and see humidors from us that have 20 years. Really, I go sometimes. I make pictures and how goes the humidor? I say it's perfect. I don't put it more humidity inside. The cedar goes to one way. Here in Madrid, it's so dry. We are about 40, 45, 50, 52 degrees. The humidity. So to get at 70 or 68, 67, 70, something like that, it is quite complicated sometimes because it's so dry, our weather. And these humidors maintain humidity so fine. And more, many people here in Spain is still making humidity just with the sponge, just this, and big humidors. I remember about 4 or 5 years ago that we mount a big, very wall humidor in a space in a wall for one tobacconist here in Madrid. That was it was ladies, quite old ladies, and I say here, we make electronic humidity if you want it. No. We every life go the humidity with tray with the sponge and want this. And they look, it's tries every day or every week. They are inside looking the humidor, and the humidor go so crazy fine. So, some people think that humidor, it is like another electrodomestic, like a freeze or like a microwave, there's a machine and it goes by his own. But no, you have to look your humidor. You have to look for your cigars. You have to think that the weather change and the change in the weather could change the humidity inside, also the temperature, and this is because we do not go to another steps in making humidors with cold and with no. The humidors, in our opinion, it is better that continue being like a bicycle. You have to the pedals. It's not a motorbike. It is a bicycle, so you have to look your humidor. The most important thing of the humidor are the cigars. This is the real. So this is what I think,
Andy, many thanks for the question. And
thank you.
Thanks for chiming in, of course. Macy, loaded with questions and filled to the brim with excitement, freshly back from Puro Sabor in Nicaragua. Macy, you've just been to the most amazing humidor in the world, and that is the natural surroundings of a tobacco plant somewhere either in the Dominican or, as in your case, in Nicaragua. But it's good to have you back, and I can't wait to hear your questions.
To quote, pardon me as I go through puberty live. Finally,
Hello.
becoming a beautiful butterfly. Thank you. It's taken 39 years. You are talking to me, right? Are you talking to me? I heard not Macy.
There's only one.
I love Mace, but damn it, we gotta. It's anyway. First of all, I don't know. I got to keep my old computer plugged. I don't know if you can see this beautiful binder leaf that Trey Oliva gave us on the tour. Just luckily the
showing off,
dog.
showing off.
Yeah, it was it. pretty damn nice and pain in the ass to bring home, along with buying my kids some wooden Jeeps with the cannon, that cigar. Anyway, seemed so good at the time. And luckily, the key is just don't put cocaine in any of it. And you should be good. Okay. It was amazing, and it was a natural humidor. And by the way, whoever's got my Rocky Patel conviction that he handed to me personally, I will find you. What's the movie? I will track you down, and torture will be involved. And that anyway, but no, it was lovely, amazing. Yeah, talking and walking into those, it is just too much, and the friendships you make in those 5 days. And then the repeats, a lot like some of them amazingly in the lounge. I gotta say, it was amazing meeting people, guests on the lounge, other participants, other deviants like your other beautiful people out there. Although Mace is what I'm seeing now. It's sorry, too much eye candy. I got distracting Mace. It's the sofa. I don't know why it's doing that, man. Why is it only showing me anyway? So I've got some, and Juan Martin, let me tell you, if you ever get a chance to go on the Olla de Nicaragua tour, sorry, Ted, you got to do it. I mean, you get to blend your own cigars. I'll show. We can talk about. Anyway, it's amazing. Smoking pure tobacco, blending your own cigars. It is an amazing experience. But they're aging. They're not ready yet. I'm going to rest them at least 6 months before I even sample. But and that, I guess that's a segue into
Macy. I feel like we need to do a Macy unloading his experiences from Pura Sabor show. It'll probably be, the second longest show right after Steve Saka, which I believe was like 3.5 hours, or probably.
We'll involve Mr. Saka quite a bit. He and I ended up having to have anyway. Let's just stay on topic.
Absolutely.
Don't feed into my ADD here.
Marco is waiting for your.
Yeah, we got questions about humidors.
No problem.
First of all, do you have a thought on, just a quick question, this using like white oak, wine oaks, other non-traditional woods to influence cigar flavor? Do you have a thought on whether that is something that is promising, or in your view is more, I guess, dare I say, gimmicky, or somewhere in between? What is your view on that?
Sorry, I don't understand you. I'm sorry.
Como el uso de como roble blanco, como en vino para el anijar de los tabacos, ¿es una cosa actual o es como más trampa? ¿Qué opina usted?
I think this could be in factory, for humidors, and also about aging. This is another, just the aging cigars. It is quite, for me, it is quite complicated to talk about this, because I don't really know if you can aging cigars after you buy and you have in your own. I think it's quite difficult. I don't really know this about this. I mean, you can in factories they have the aging room and they aging the cigars, and the conditions in this space are so specific. They're closed, they are dark. Perhaps I know people that do aging with cedar boxes closed, with movements every day, but I think in the general people, you must have, we must talk about preserved cigars, to have the cigars in good conditions, like the day you put the cigar in the humidor. But take the cigar and age the cigar in the humidor, I think it's quite difficult. Quite difficult. And asking you about the oak, about the wood, we use oak, but for the outside of humidor, for finish, but never for inside the humidors. Oak is a wood that don't have for the cigars. Yes, for the whiskey or for the also wine, but for cigars, perhaps no, they are experienced in this, but I didn't know about this. Sorry, you know, it's not. I don't know in this about this. Perhaps there are people that are doing in his factories and his experimenting about this, you know, but in the real world of preserved cigars, of have your cigars in the humidors, we go in this with we still go with cedar and also the aging. You know, I speak so many times with very many people experts in that. Also manufacturers, also journalists that are in the world of cigars so many years. Some people think that you cannot age cigars in humidor because the conditions, the glass, you open, you smoke, you take one cigar. These conditions are probably against the aging of the cigars. No, like if it's like if you want to, perhaps you have the bottle of wine and you want to age more this wine or this whiskey, you want to is I don't know 18 years whiskey and you want to put in 24. I think it is quite difficult you to do. I think in world of cigars is quite similar, you know. I think.
Thank you. I have many more, but I'm going to let some others, if we have time, I may come back. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Ian, over to you. Or Sebastian, sorry, you still had a question.
Hello, Sebastian.
You hear me, or?
Yes, we can hear you.
Well, sorry, just a short addition. As Marco said, a humidor, as my experience, needs the air inside needs some circulation. And you should open and close the humidor from time to time. And some people make the mistake; they just shut it and never fresh air comes into it. And as you just said at the end, my experience is that a cigar is good when you smoke it, but it doesn't last eternally, because there's this thick book from the Hong Kong expert on from Ron Lee, I don't know, I forgot his name, about pre-revolutionary cigars, and in the first words he says, all of my friends have a few thousand Havana cigars in their cellar. So unluckily I'm not one of his friends. And just an addition that as you mentioned, the red cedar. I once had a lovely little boxes, these Dutch cigars who actually need Sumatra doesn't need so much humidity that a cigar from Nicaragua or Cuba. But they have lovely little boxes, red cedar, and they say sometimes this resin, the wood has tears, so the resin goes out. It's not good for the cigars. It gives a good aroma, and one thing that the wood of course is important. And in former times, I show you here, they make out of the same wood as the humidors, they make the thing for shoes, and it protects a little getting well, it gives a good smell, and it's against insects and other things. So humidor builder, as you have the experience, and there's it's a tradition with the craftsmanship and with the wood. And I found out that they're nice to look and not so expensive. These Cuban humidors, actually, they all were manufactured in Morocco, so there might be labor is cheaper there. But when you want a real good European product, it's good to make it in with an expert, and you can also communicate. Well, this was my addition. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Ian, over to you.
Yes.
Hi, fascinating conversation. I have a big cabinet humidor and also have some box humidors. What is your view about, do they need to be re-seasoned after a number of years? I mean, I generally, with my box humidors, I use Boveda packs, and for my big humidor, I just have some trays with some foam in, and I just fill that up with distilled water whenever I need to. But should you sort of be re-seasoning the wood after a few years, or you just carry on, without doing that?
I think it's not needed. I uh, I I don't exactly understand. You mean you have in a years to re
Do I need to, perhaps to empty the humidor and then to recoat the cedar with some more moisture, with some more distilled water, or I just carry on? I mean, it seems to be okay. I've had my cabinet humidor for 5 years. It seems to be okay, but it's just, do they need refreshing, or can you just top up, every
Yes.
week, every month, or whatever as necessary? Yeah.
For me, the important is that you have to move your cigars in the humidor, not to be always down the same cigar, and you have to
Okay.
put, and after about years, I think it's not needed you to take all out, and I think no, I
No.
think in this moment, perhaps the humidor is the best moment of it, all the cigars also are get smelled also to the humidor, and it is in your way, because are your cigars, are the cigars you like, and this you know what I mean. You can of course take out and clean if it's a little dirty, or also if you want you can put the cedar clean by a brush, and
No.
and clean, and it's going to work like, but I think it's only for the look, for you, for the beauty, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In my experience, I see so many humidors for 20 years of age that work is fantastic, and they are in tobacconists that just have the cigars fine, have the humidity fine, just this, and they don't do anything. They just put the humidity right. The best of these people is that there is so many movement. One cigar inside, go out, go in, go out, and then you don't have the cigar so many times in this humidor. But it's different than the home humidor. Your humidor in your home, perhaps you have cigars that have 2, 3, 4, 5 years inside. In this matter, I think the best is you to move the cigar and to
Yeah.
open the
I mean,
humidor. Yes.
Yeah, I have a cigar. I have a cigar oasis in my cabinet. Do you recommend moving the box? I have boxes. Do you recommend moving them around within the humidor from time to time?
Yes.
Is that a good?
And
Yeah.
open the boxes, take out. Almost most of the thing is to move the cigars inside the boxes. Also of the press. We usually don't recommend more than 2 cigars, one on top. In a try, no more 2 or 3, and then not put so many cigars one over the other one.
Yeah, I mean, I keep them in the boxes, and the boxes are 2 or 3 or 4 cigars deep. So,
so in this particular case, it's better to move more the ones who are on the down to go up. Also for the press, not just because you are going a pressed cigar,
Yeah.
then also for this, but also for the good condition of all the cigars and same conditions.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Marco, you mentioned earlier that Wacota went through a beautiful evolution. Before we went on the show, we also briefly discussed, you've been to Intertabac, you have a plethora of international customers now with humidors going to all various countries in Europe, but even as far as Australia. How do you see the next steps for Wacota, or what's the vision for the next couple of years to sort of, I mean, is there even a plan to grow and expand, or do you say you're just comfortable with where you are, given that you have such a high level of individualization, customization, and truly crafting these pieces uniquely for the needs of the respective customer?
Yes. No, we are in one project that we are so illusionated. Is this the word? I don't know. Sorry, my English.
All good, Marco.
You know the we make all the elements of our humidors, the humidity system, all the elements we make. Just one we don't do. It is the hygrometer. Hygrometer we buy. No? And now we are about 1 year working with an engineer to make our own hygrometer, because
Beautiful.
we want to put some things in the hygrometer that we would like to put. Some things that our experience get to what we want to do. No? For example, one thing for us that is complicated sometimes, it is that I am talking about big humidors, no? In this case, when you open the humidor, here, for example, or in any country of Europe, you open the humidor, you take your cigar, you close, you clean, you look at this, you have 1 minute, the humidor open. You close, and humidity go down to 50, for example, no? And then the proof read this and start the humidification, no? You close the humidor and the humidity starts. Many times the humidity goes so much up because it starts, but the humidor not need to the humidity start in that moment. Humidity perhaps not need to start until 2 minutes, because the humidor is in good humidity, in good season. And then, for example, we want to look at this. Also, we would like to you can control the not control. You see your humidity in the mobile. No, this is so easy with buying in Amazon so many elements, but we want to make our own system that you can do this, and so many things we want to. For example, we would like to, if a customer in now, for example, if a customer in Germany have a problem with the humidor, we cannot look what happened in the instance. We just need to talk with him and to please check this and check this and check all. We would like to come inside the hygrostat and see what is happening, what is the historic, and to try to help in what's happening to the humidor, no? And this is what we want to do in the about the manufacturer, no? About the other, I really don't think in expand or in no. I am happy, you know. I am quite old. I don't need so much work. I want to stay like I you know.
I very much like that, Marco, and I appreciate that. You really have you have an aura or the calm demeanor of somebody who is very happy with his life and where he's at in life and with what you have built, and I find that quite remarkable. Ever so often in today's world, you know, I think that people are
Yes,
they're
yes,
always trying to get more and go the next step and grow and bigger and faster and better, when sometimes, you know, it's the real art lies in being content with who you are and where you're at, and to find that
yes.
tranquility
It,
and that gratitude in yourself is remarkable and wonderful to see and hear.
no, it's I've you know it is life put you in a moment, and when no, uh, we are now 10 people working between warehouse and in commercial, 10 people, 8 people in the warehouse, and we can put more people to work and make more humidors, but we are so afraid of that. No, we can, because we have so many orders, but it's difficult to do this step for us because my partner have his family, his kids. So do me. I have three kids. I want to be have my life also. Not only work. I love my work. I love my customers. I I like the like we are doing. I don't want to sell humidors and I don't know who is buying the humidor, for example.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it's like this because uh, for me it's the funny of this to meet people and to meet crazy people, because the world of the cigar, the people of the cigar, I have so many friends that buy me a humidor, and for me this is the most important. I don't want to lose this. I don't want to sell people that I don't. This is
You
my
don't
point.
enjoy and you don't like. I
No,
hear you. I completely understand, and I'm very much with you. But it takes quite a bit of I don't even know how to frame it or what to say, but I think it takes certain maturity in life to come to that realization, and that's wonderful to see.
yes. Well, no, it's not so marital. No, it is just be normal. No, I think we are now in a world that the simple or the you know if also I go to the manufacturers, they grow, but they are the sense of them are the same. They want the cigars to be fine, and if one cigar not work, I think all of them uh, put nervous. Just one of in China and I know because I know so many manufacturers, and they are like, they want, and they go to work better his cigars and not more. Why it's so little cigars now in the market? Because many people is smoking, and the brands, they are not manufacturing more. They want to still manufacturing the cigars they can, and this is the best thing. If the market asks for 1 million cigar and you can do 100,000, you cannot go to manufacture 1 million because you have to sell. You know what I mean. This is the same in parallelism about our humidors. No, I think.
Completely with you. Andy, I wanted to bring you back in. I think you had another question or a comment.
Yeah, it's, I know my personal feelings on this, but I wanted to ask you what your personal feeling is about glass top humidors. Because, I see people buying these glass top humidors for the last 20, 30 years. And I don't understand people like that, but I wanted to find out what your opinion was about a glass top humidor.
Laptop humidors, you mean personal humidors, small humidors for?
Well, with a glass top, so that you can see into your humidor.
Sorry, I don't understand you. Sorry, I don't understand what you.
Clear top, glass.
Glass humidors.
Yeah.
Oh, this is another. This is important also. It's not only the glass; it's also the light. We do humidors with glass, and we do humidors. We make humidors with light, because all people ask for this kind of humidors. It's better close humidors at all, but all the people want to see his cigars. And it's difficult to give you my opinion, because I am with you. I try to sell natural humidors with not electronic humidors. I try, but the people don't want this. They want electronic. They want, and if he can no open, we have to do, because the market is going like this. And but we try to stop a little, and of course to tell the customer, you have to know, if you put the light on the humidor, you cannot put the light more than 2, 3, 4 hours a day, because the light is bad for the cigar, because the wrapper is going to be cleared, it's going to be white. One time I remember one tobacconist, I don't remember if in France or I think in France, they call me, they tell me that the humidor, the cigars are all are white. What happened? All the cigars are white, not white, but all cleared. And I say, where is the humidor? He told me, we put the humidor near the glass, near the door, and with the light on. I say, this is crazy. The sun and the light of the humidor is getting and it is very, very, very fast. The leaf is going to be the wrapper is going to be so cleared. So try not to put the light on every day. All the tobacconists, that is the people who need to put the light on, because it is his element to sell. This is like this. I try to say to tell them that it is better to light the luz, that to put the light on the moments of the most people come to the tobacconist, but in other moments to close the light. About the glass is the same, but this is a battle that I think we lost.
The other thing you mentioned too is you were talking about using sponges for humidification, which I'm old school as well in a lot of ways. I don't like the Oasis and all these products that you put in your humidor. It's important. I have to have an electronic humidifier in my walk-in. That yes. I have no way around. But I also have 11 tabletop humidors and the 2 antique humidors as well. And so a lot of the humidification devices they give you have what's called floral foam. It's a styrofoam. I absolutely hate it. So I never use that. When you talk about a sponge, the only thing about sponge that I don't like is it's a sea creature in sponge, so it gets an odor to it. But they do make sponges that are synthetic and don't have the odor. What do you usually recommend for humidification device? I noticed a couple people talked about Boveda packs, and some people have gel jars. And some people have, matter of fact, at Diamond Crown, their humidification device has got a stone inside of it. What do you recommend?
I think, for example, Boveda, it is on top for me for small humidors, because they find a way very, very, very good, very clean, very nice to get humidity inside humidor. But the problem of Boveda is only for small humidors, or if you have a humidor with drawers, you have to put one Boveda in each drawer, something like that. I mean, in big humidors, we need to get the humidity, and sometimes the electronic is the best way, because we find a way to circulate the humidity so fine, and it works better than try with a sponge. If you do not are so afraid of the humidor, so look at your humidor. You know, the matter is sometimes that the work of the sponge of this kind of natural humidity, the matter is that you have to work at the beginning so much, but when the humidor have 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, you see that it's getting better and better and better and better. I remember one friend that he had one humidor from us. The name is Presidente. He told me that it is tray with a sponge. He told me, I 2 years or 3 years that I don't put humidity in the humidor, and it is perfect. You know, it is because the cedar is so seasoned, so acclimated that only the cigars with his humidity inside, and the cedar goes the humidity to this way, and you don't need to just sometimes, perhaps one time 3 months or 2 months, or I have one humidor here for me, one humidor that we make for a brand, a big humidor, like you like, no glass, all cedar inside, that I look at him one time, or always is with right humidity. It is so seasoned. So another problem is if there are so many differences in temperature. If this happen, this is more problematic. And this is
because I see people who use beads, or they want to use cat litter, all these so-called experts, and they talk about putting cat litter in their humidor and these humidification. It's just crazy how many people who are trying to reinvent the wheel that it just cracks me up, instead of just doing what's worked great for hundreds of years. Because there's a name for a person like you who does what you do. It's called an artisan. Okay, you make an artisan product that's handmade, that's done properly, and I appreciate that in the humidor. I appreciate that in listening to you today. It's just everybody's a so-called expert in, people who've been smoking for 3-4 years. All of a sudden now they've got that magical wand that tells them they know everything. And Benji Menendez, probably.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so
Yes.
Benji was my teacher. He was my mentor, and still is. And you know, it's you got to listen to the old timers. They know, they've been doing it for years. And I wanted to say thank you for coming on today, because I really appreciate everything you've had to share.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, pardon me.
Albert.
Just a quick question. And hello, Marco. It's very
Hello.
nice to meet you. And don't
Nice to
worry
meet.
about your English. You know, it's not the matter. What matters is what you're doing.
Thank you.
My question is quite simple, actually. Are other artists like you can mention who makes quality humidors?
Yes. For example, here in Madrid, there is a guy that he make so nice humidors. His name is La Camera. I don't know if you know this brand, La Camera. He make small humidors, personal humidors. He's very friend of us. We work with him sometimes if he need big humidors or something like this. I know another manufacturers here in Spain, like Cabello. Or, they are people like us. I don't know many people outside Spain. Manufacturers in Cuba, there are so many artisans that they work so nice. The wood, they work. They do masterpiece of design so nice in Cuba. And also, I think in Santo Domingo, there are manufacturers. I know one brand, one people in Canada also that I like very much. His humidors are quite similar to us. I don't remember the name, sorry. And
No,
after
that's okay. You know, as long as you can maybe share that with Reinhard, and we can. It's almost like promoting Spanish humidor manufacturers. I think but one of the message could be of this show. My second question is actually also very short. How long it takes to make a good humidor, and I'm talking walk-in humidor.
walking humidor. You mean a walking humidor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
About we have about between 40 to 60 days.
Oh,
For 40 days to 2 months. It depends of the work we have, and we have the process that we make. It is same in all the manufacturers. No, the first is we cannot we cannot we cannot have the wood in our factory. All the wood we need, we buy the wood when we. Sometimes we have wood, but the finish of the humidors are now are crazy. We can do humidors in Nebanus, in Tiricote, in Walnut, in Oak, I like the humidors outside finish in wood, there are also lacquered, but I mean the first time is we have to buy the wood, the board, and this is sometimes it's about 1 to 2 weeks, just this, because it have to come. Then after we have to cut, we go to the machine to bring all the parts of the humidor. Then we have to assemble and make the humidor that it's going to be. After we have to lack to get the lacquer or the varnish of the finish. Any finish, we can do natural, we can do many finishes. And after, when this is done, we take again and we mount the final mount with the hinges, with the tries, with the glass, the light, the electronic, all of this. And this is about this, more or less, about 45 days to 60 days. Perhaps sometimes we can do in 40, 35 days, but it depends also of the work, more or less.
Mhm.
Yes.
Have you installed any humidors outside the Spain?
What?
Have you installed any humidors outside the Spain? So in Germany, have you built any humidors in, say, Germany or Sweden or United States? Or you work just in Spain?
Not just in Spain. We only work in Spain. We only manufacture humidors here in our factory. No. We don't have. We think about. Some people tell us to open a factory, for example, in United States, but it's difficult to do. Some people, and we think also in it, because also in Mexico, for example, in Mexico,
Mhm.
but we at the moment we don't think in do it.
So manufacturing, or what about installation? ¿Instalado fuera de España?
Yes, in all world. More, the most market of us is Europe, Europe, but also to know, for example, for Dubai, for Arabia, Kuwait, is a big market. Also, the south of Asia, for example, Vietnam, for example, Korea, and also Australia, for example. And now we are going to send one humidor to Argentina and to Dublin. We are. It's nice all all the world, and people of the tobacco people. Yes.
Do you go to put that humidor yourself, or you just ship it and then somebody else installs it?
Here in Madrid, we put humidor also in some cities of Spain if the customer ask for this, but we make the humidors that be so easy to install. So easy. You have to understand. One humidor of this, it is 200 weight kilograms or 300 kilograms. So they need help of people to put the humidor inside. But after to start the humidor and to put and to finish, it is quite easy. Don't need we to be there. Some people call us, and we help to start. And we make the system that if the humidifier don't work or broken or something like that, you can take out the humidifier and send us, we repair, and we send to you. It is small, it's not quite big.
Okay, well, muchas gracias. Very good answers.
Gracias,
I have no I have no more thirst for questions. So Reinhard, back to you. Thank you, Marco.
Thank you very much.
Albert, thank you for your questions. Marco, it's been absolutely wonderful to have you on the show and to shed some light on your work and your inspiration. And particularly, I find it fascinating how you bring your philosophy and your life experience and as I said in the beginning, that magic of the cigar, bringing people together, you pack all of that into your work, and it's beautifully reflected in the works of Wacota, and how
Thank you.
how you present yourself, how you talk, and how you've built this whole business. And I really admire that, and that's why I'm very grateful that we had the privilege of meeting, and that we had the joy of having you here in the lounge. And hopefully many more people will learn about Humidores Wacota and learn about your work. I wish you nothing but the very, very best, continued success, and most importantly, keep that warm heart and keep that wonderful spirit, and continue.
I try.
Doing what you're doing. It's wonderful, and I'm
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you.
A tu salud.
Marco,
a la vuestra.
thank you for being at the Light 'em Up Lounge. Again, all the very best, and we'll see everybody here next week, same time. 6
Have a nice carnival.
Un abrazo a todos. Un abrazo, Marco. Grande.
Un abrazo. Hombre, ¿qué tal? Me alegro mucho de verte. Gracias. Thank you.